to have you here. This is second time or third time in Finland?
Third time.
Yeah, because you were here a couple of months ago.
Yeah,
For another festival, and
yes.
now you're here in Ruisrock in Turku.
Yes.
Different city. So how is the Finnish crowd so far?
Both. Like the first festival I did, I think it was
Sideways. Yeah,
was really good, and Corel was really, really good as well.
Yeah.
So I have kind of high expectations on the Finnish crowd.
Yes. I think this will be great here too in Ruisrock too. It's like a different.
Like, everyone is really happy. I'm like surprised the weather is so bad.
I know, but I think the festival makes the people kind of happy here.
That's good.
Yeah, but good to have you here. Let's dive in straight into your last album, Showgirl.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go straight into the deep end, so-called. That's your latest album, and what I read from different interviews, you have told that it wasn't supposed to happen. It kind of accidentally happened, right?
The album?
The album, yeah.
Oh no. It was an accident. It was not an accident.
I mean, because you were supposed to release a second album, but then things happened and then
I see.
changed.
Yeah.
That's what I meant with it. If you wanna open the background to it.
Yeah. So I was making an album in 2018.
Yeah.
2017 and 2018, and then my dad passed suddenly. So I did a couple of shows. Like I performed quite a lot after that, but I couldn't write songs.
Yeah.
So, and then I got this offer from Dramaten. It's like a old school venue that only like does theater really, but they do things with artists as well sometimes. So they asked me to put on a show there, and I'm so happy that I said yes. It was kind of hard to say yes because I wasn't sure if I could keep making music. But yeah, I said yes and worked on it really hard and decided to record the show. So it's like a little small gift for the people who wants to hear something new. And I'm like, this is kind of new.
Yeah, it was a combination of new songs and then old ones with like new versions.
Yeah, exactly. It's a different tone maybe from how it sounds originally.
Yeah. So how do you go from not sure if you want to do music anymore to, well, this is kind of new beginning? What's the show that gave you that kind of energy, the vibe, or?
I think like I'm very dramatic, so it's like I'm not gonna make music anymore. I'm just sad over my father, and then I have to create things. Like if I don't create music, then I have to create something else. So and music is my core in creating.
Yeah.
So of course I was gonna keep doing music, but I think the Showgirl really. I was able to make something like in a very thorough way, very detail oriented, and work on it for a long time, and it kind of healed me in a way, and it was in the beginning, for sure.
Great. So you write, and then of course you sing your songs, but then you also produce.
Yes.
So how much do you allow other people to participate in making the music that you put out?
It goes a bit back and forth.
Okay.
So I think initially I kind of don't want to produce my songs really. I want other people to do it. I want other people to write on my songs as well. So I often I'm in sessions with people and I'm just gonna put my spin on it, but you do your thing, and it ends up me not feeling like it's really me. So then I go back and I redo things and put my twist on it. With this album that I'm making now, I'm in the stage where I'm writing a lot myself, but also working with other people and trying other people out. And my goal is really to not do as much on the production this time because I'm not fast when it comes to production because it's not I'm fast with singing or I'm fast with thinking about songs, but with the production it takes a long time, and I want to release an album next year, so I have to speed things up. But I met this Finnish girl called Minna. She's a producer.
Yes, I actually know her.
Yeah, You friends with her?
I kind of know her. I've interviewed her before, and she's amazing though.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So.
It's a Finnish-Swedish connection then.
Yes.
Great.
I mean, I only had one session with her. Maybe she's gonna be pissed off that I'm saying this already, but I just think she's incredible.
Yeah.
I really want to work with her more. I'm working with other Swedish female producers as well, and just see what happens when other people get to do their thing more in my thing.
What's the vibe that you're looking for when you are, searching for new people to work with? What do you have to feel to be like, okay, this is the person I want to work with?
I realize now, I don't think this is something I thought that you just had to be hard. Like, you have to be hard and you have to be able to go in sessions with everyone and just like create something really fast and really good. And I'm not like that. I need to feel connected to the people I work with, and I'm really, really shy about my lyrics and my melodies. Even though I'm not a shy person maybe in person, but when it comes to my songs, so I have to feel really safe. I have to feel like the person understands like my point of view, or has similar views on life and on the world. But I have to feel like really, really safe. I'm really shy.
That makes sense though, because that's a very intimate thing to do music with someone, right?
So intimate. It's so intimate, especially if you want to say something scary, which I think is the most interesting, if you manage to say something that you're afraid to say. But in order to do that, either you have to do it by yourself, which is not so much fun, or you find people that you feel safe with. Yeah.
Let's talk about your song, the lyrics. People keep, when they write about you or talk about you, they say you are so brave and you are so like political, even though you're just writing about your feelings and about liking girls and having sex. What do you think that's why people keep like saying those things just because you are, writing about those topics that, guys write about too?
Yeah. I think like mainstream music has lost a lot of like the edge with the lyrics and like the personal with the lyrics. And even when like say Cardi B, for example, she's so personal, she's so political, like the personal is political.
Yeah.
So she's really she's telling her story, and I think that's why people are engaging so much with her. But I don't think everyone understands that it's because she is so honest. And I think that's, I lie a lot in my songs, but I have to feel that I mean it, even if I'm lying about it. And I think it's really weird that it's like a thing that I write about myself, because most artists does.
Yeah.
Or I think most great artists find something within themselves to channel out towards a bigger audience. But yeah, I mean, I'm a woman and I'm queer, so of course that's what people see.
Do you think that just because you are queer, that you are seen as political artist, even though you don't?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Is that something a baggage, or do you still enjoy having that kind of power?
I just don't seem like, if I like view myself or like feel how I am, the first thing is not that I'm queer. The first thing is not that I'm a female. The first thing about me is completely other things. Like my need to create is bigger. My sensitivity is bigger. So it's kind of like someone is telling you who you are, and it's such a small part of you. But at the same time, it is what it is. Like, there's not that many. Well, it started to become more queer artists out there. But when I started with girls in 2014, it was like this huge thing.
It was a huge thing, yeah,
Yes.
Definitely at that time.
At that time,
yeah.
and now it wouldn't be as like dangerous, I don't think.
Yeah, but it's still it's kind of funny, or I don't know if it's funny the right word, but when I was reading even the new interviews about you, every time you were introduced as queer or lesbian or gay female artist, which is like kind of feels weird because you don't introduce every artist that way.
Yeah, no.
So it's kind of limiting, but at the same time, I think there are a lot of people who need to hear that there are artists like you. I mean, queer people who are looking up to you. So I think there's a good and bad with this,
I agree.
All those labels, I guess.
I totally agree. I think, unfortunately, as long as we need labels, we will use labels. And we're not in a place right now where I can just be free. Like, you can not, like, I bet for you there's people who's where are you from? Your parents from? Where are you from? And when you get introduced, you're this woman who's not really from Finland, but she's making a like the labels, and that's because we're oppressed.
Exactly. Yes. And that's why, like, even I am using a lot of times. I introduce myself saying it like brown girl, because we have to talk about it as long as there's some problem with these issues. So I guess it's a curse and it's also a blessing, I guess. Well, let's talk more about your music. And when we listen to your music, it is like it's difficult to put like a genre, or like say you are only doing pop or rock or alternative, whatever. And the feelings are also from different, everything. So is that something that you aim for, or does that happen naturally that you just can't put put your music onto one genre or feeling?
I think I've never been like someone who listens to music and likes one type of music. Like I've had periods where I like a certain genre more than another one, but music is so much bigger than just one way of playing the music. So I've listened to so much different types of music, and I'm inspired by many different types of artists. So I think I just get bored if it sounds too much like this or too much like that. I want to be interested when I hear my music, and I want other people to be interested too and surprised, I guess. And with the lyrics, I don't know, I just feel like I haven't even tapped into all the lyrics that I should be writing. And I think most artists that write have so much to say, but either you're limiting yourself or other people are limiting you. So I've been limited a lot by myself, but also by my people who I worked with before that would say like, this type of lyric, it's fine and everything, but not that many people are gonna relate. And it's like, if this is something that I've been through and I feel, then there's gonna be other people who relates to it. Like, that's a given. But I think often the oppressed point of view is seen as not as valuable. So I think a lot of us artists, we kind of we're put in a space, and we're also putting ourselves in a space where we talk about this one thing because that's our thing, and I think that's very limiting as an artist and as a person. Yeah,
but this is kind of weird thing, because I think people who are some sort of like minorities always get to hear that your story might not be interesting to the whole crowd. But I think that's a really wrong way of thinking, because I think just because people are not used to it doesn't mean that they might not be able to relate to your feelings, because the feelings are the same.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just different point of views of stuff, which is like, because I had a kind of similar conversation with Zainab Asi, and she also said the same thing, that she used to do music to make it easy for everybody to relate to, and now the latest album was proud brown girl, black girl doing music about her life.
Yeah.
But then there's still a lot of people relating to all the feelings.
Yeah, because it's like everyone, most people have feelings.
Yeah.
Psychopaths don't.
I guess so.
But I mean, as long as I think that's true. That's kind of the most important thing. If the feeling is there, then it will resonate with other people. for sure.
You have to get used to also not always being the center of the story. I think that's what's happened with like heteronormative or like the white folks. Usually it's like that they're so used to being the center of the story or the lead. So-called,
But also I think I listen to a lot of podcasts, like I'm crazy about podcasts, and I listen to a lot of podcasts that is about storytelling, and like it's, when I started listening to them, it kind of changed my life and it's kind of saved me, because I heard stories from all kinds of people, short stories, long stories, sad stories, happy stories, like everything, and like embarrassing stories, like things that we go through. And it made me feel more connected to myself and to other people. So I think, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think that we as humans have a need to connect and to learn from each other. And this idea that there can only be a few okay subjects is just bullshit.
So about the new music, then are you tapping into some new genres, new things, or?
It's both. I've realized that I have my taste in sounds. So for me, it's kind of like I'm going. I guess because I stopped my process of making music, I had to go back and listen to what I was doing like a year before, and by doing that, I went back to even older like demos that I've never released. And I was like, oh my god, I love this so much. Like I have to tap into this again. So I'm very inspired by the output like of punk music, not maybe the sounds, but the lyrics, the point of view maybe. And I love disco music. I love it so much.
It's very different two worlds.
Yes, but they're not. I mean, in a sense, like disco music is very repetitive, and it's the same with punk music, and it's kind of the same with pop music as well, and with like hip hop and rap. It's also like I love music that just keeps on going. That has a loop that works. But I'm like, I don't know where the album is going to end up. I'm trying to write really scary things. So.
What do you mean by scary?
Like scary things about losing people, about dangerous people, about risky feelings, about my childhood. Like I've never said anything about my life before I started making music because I didn't want anyone to know, and I'm still like figuring out how to speak about things that I went through as a child and as a teenager. So I'm trying to tap into that on this album. If the melody is good enough, then the song is gonna end up on the album. But I don't know it at the moment.
Is it scary because if you talk about certain topics that it might invite people to ask more questions, or is it scary just to talk about them in general? Because usually when somebody does a song about something, then everybody wants to know what is this song about, or is this really true?
No, I think it's more. I think it's combining, because I love catchy melodies. I love melodies that sticks, but I also like really kind of confessional type of lyrics. And those two worlds, that's what I'm scared of, like how they're gonna meet each other, and I'm still figuring out how to merge the two. Because it's very easy to write. Like the easiest thing to write is a song about breaking up, wanting to break up, being broken up with. Like that's for me. That's the easiest thing. So I could do that in like that. But writing really emotional things that's really really true, it's much harder for me.
So how do you challenge yourself? How do you, what what tools do you use to be like, okay, I know how to do this, but I don't want to repeat myself?
Yeah, I've started writing down my thoughts. Before I used to write down lyrics. I used to write down more like rhymes or like words like I came up with. But nowadays I'm writing I'm journaling and trying to use that in my lyrics. So and I'm journaling a lot in Swedish and translating it to English, and I've never done that before either.
Okay. Do you straight like write to English then before?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I was like I never like maybe I would translate it into Swedish afterwards to see if like is this. But most of my lyrics in Swedish, if you translate them, they're like dansband. I don't know how to say it in Finnish.
So you said that your next album will be for next year?
Yes.
So what other goals do you have for near future? What do you really want to do in the near future?
I want to be able to make money on what I do. Like maybe it's dirty to say, but it's been like a real struggle for me getting paid for my work. So I'm rebuilding my structure around what I'm doing and working with new people and trying things out so that I can actually live off what I'm doing, because now it's hard. So that's one of the goals. I'm not sure how to make that happen. But I want to, be stable, and I want to make my album, and I'm creating other things. Like I created this little dress that I'm wearing tonight.
Oh.
It's not very well sewn, but this little thing I made like 2 days ago. I'm like painting on leather jackets and like painting stuff and recreating garments and things. So that I'm doing that too, and I want to do that even more.
Okay. A new type of ways of find your creativity, I guess.
Yes.
Also.
Yeah.
But you said it's dirty to say that you want to make, a living out of what you're doing. So it's just kind of funny because I mean, of course you should be
wrong
able to.
word. But it's dirty to talk about it. Like
it's
dirty to talk about it like in public.
Yeah, and as an artist, I feel like a lot of times you are supposed to just starve and just create and do stuff, and that makes no sense though.
That doesn't work in a capitalistic society, I think. But it's just I don't know. It's I think the idea of an artist is that we're like living in this special little bubble, and nothing affects us really. Like we don't have money, but we don't need money. It's like we don't eat, and we're just like creating stuff, and all of a sudden there's an album, and and I think a lot of us artists feel like we need to keep that idea going, because that is what makes us special. And I don't think that makes you special to be in a bubble. I think that's very boring. And I'm definitely not in a bubble. I'm suffering from this capitalistic system. And I did some bad decisions when I was younger when it comes to the rights to my music and stuff. And I'm paying for it now. And I feel like I'm kind of in the, what's it called? That Timbuktu song, The Botten is Not. Did you have that over here in Finland? It's like, it doesn't get worse. Like, this is the end, and it has to go up. But I'm not just rambling. I just think it's kind of embarrassing to talk about the struggle of money.
But I think, actually, I'm just thinking that it's so great that you're talking about this, because I think these type of talks are necessary, and then the younger generation and the new artists need to hear this, that they should be more aware of all these situations where they have to be careful. Who do you work with? What kind of deals you sign? So I think what you are doing actually now is very necessary and important.
I don't want people to pity me. That's the only thing, and that's what kind of dangerous. Or like, well, maybe or the other argument that is like, well. Because the thing is, I decided to make music. I decided this life and this road. So I can't really blame anyone else for being an artist. Being an artist is going to be hard. But at the same time, it's hard not to speak about the injustice that happens to artists. I think the music industry is very corrupt. There's not no real way to keep the labels to have control over what they do. It's very it's like the labels are artists too. They're just creating this and this happened. Blah, blah. It's very muddy, and I don't think it benefits the artists, and it's the artists that make the product that they sell. And recent numbers showed, I think 12% of the whole money bag goes back to the people who's created the art, and that's just a general statistic. Then it can be better and it can be worse. That's not good.
Yeah.
And you have to have a lot of streams on Spotify, millions and millions, to earn anything from it, and no one says anything about it.
Yeah, but I think that's why it's so important that more and more artists talk about it, and they're more and more careful of how they sell their music and where they sell their music and who they invite to be part of their crafts. I think it's kind of, it doesn't change if people don't talk about it.
Yeah, for sure.
And it doesn't change if people are not more. I think it's very important. They said that I want to make money because that's your right, I guess. If you work, you should be able to make money out of the things you do. Whatever work you did, you are supposed to get paid for it, right?
For sure.
So thank you for talking about it.
Okay.
Then I guess.
I'm not gonna. I feel like I'm getting red and everything. No, this train! I've jumped on this train and I can't stop it.
No, but
I
actually really
appreciate it. Talk about this, but not okay. Well,
but I think that's also a feminist thing to do. Also, is to talk about this, because I think a lot of female artists or whatever, if you're working on this field, if it's a journalist, if it's an artist or a musician, whatever, it's the struggle is very similar, and that's why I think it's very important that more and more people are careful of.
Yeah, for sure.
How do they?
Yeah, I think
manage their businesses, so called. Because it's a business too. What do you do?
For sure. I'm my own boss and my own employee.
Your own company.
I'm work better, Beatrice. You have to work harder. No, but I think it's scary also because it opens you up for criticism. Your songs isn't that good, so why would you never know what's gonna happen if you say something private. And I think that's what I'm also trying to do with this album, to be private, and that's scary, really, really scary, but really interesting too. And hopefully I will make something that's interesting for more people than just me.
So what's the next thing that you are really excited about, other than the album?
Yeah, I'm performing Showgirl again in Malmö, in south of Sweden. So I'm really I think that's gonna be the second time and the last time. So I'm really excited about that show. I don't know, I'm very into the album, so I have kind of problems being excited about much other things. Every time I'm away from my computer, away from my synths, I'm I could be creating something right now. So I'm thinking about the album all the time. That's what kind of excites me. But on a personal level, I just got a dog, so it's very exciting to see her development and being her mom. I'm excited about new people that I met. I've met quite a lot of interesting people the last couple of months, and I feel like I'm on a new kind of path in how I view myself and the world and life. So I don't know if that's flummigt. I don't know how to say it in English. Fuck! Don't you know Swedish?
I'm a bad immigrant. I only learned one language. I couldn't do two.
Yeah, you don't need Swedish. Fuck Swedish.
It's almost as useless in Finnish then. So a little. Swedish is a bit better, but yeah.
Yeah, but
I decided to learn English. I was Yeah, I
English,
chose
for sure.
different.
Yeah, no. Well done. That
Sorry
was
about
a
that.
good decision. Really good decision.
Oh my god. But I could talk to you for like days, so thank you
same.
for being
Same.
able to do this. I'm so happy that
Thank
you
you
are
for
here.
asking relevant and interesting questions.
Oh,
It doesn't
thank
happen
you. I'm
a lot.
happy. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I really enjoyed talking to you.
Same.
So good to have you here. I'm excited for your show,
Me too.
Beatrice Eli. Yay!